welcome to another blog from me. This will be the last one I post for a little while because I'm now nearing the end of my first week of classes out here on the study abroad exchange year programme with Curtin University. I think things are going to get quite busy for me now that classes have started and work has been set. So as I say, it'll probably be the last blog I post for a couple of weeks at least. I know I've posted quite a lot lately, but I've been hoping that I've given you a good enough view of what it's like to be an international student and to start a university elsewhere in the world. I've tried to include what it's like travelling out here, International Orientation Week and Start-up Week, which have all been quite busy, and then now I've got round to my first week of classes, so things are good so far. I guess it's quite different. It's in some ways what I expected it to be like, and other ways not. The workload is a lot. I hope to set this book out kind of like step by step of what it's been like out here. So I guess the first thing is the differences. The main difference for me has been the size of the uni. I'll try and show you a little map here. This is a map of the university. All the way down here. So as you can see, it's pretty big. A lot of my classes are around this section here, which is the humanities section. Up here is where the guild, equivalent of student union, is situated. And it's massive. I've hoped to get some pictures of what the uni is like, sort of walking around the uni, to put on this blog to give you a kind of a little tour of what it is I get to see. I thought about taking a video, but it would go on and on and on if I walked around the whole uni, so I put some pictures in instead. Other differences are there isn't a club associated with the uni as such in the way that we have the forum. They have a pub called the Tavern, which is quite a lively pub, I think, but that's there instead. And it's not quite the same as having a club, but the good thing is it's open all day, so you can go in lunch times and get food in there, a drink at lunchtime, whatever. And it's right there in the middle of the campus. You don't have to go too far. Obviously over here it's all in one campus and not split between the two like Hertfordshire, but I think even if you put both the campuses at Hertfordshire together, it will probably only be equivalent about half the size of what this campus is. But still, so we get to use the tavern. You have to present your passport to get in though, because students out here can start uni from 17, which is something I only found out yesterday, which is quite interesting. Other differences have been, I guess, basically the layout of the university. It's quite confusing. You'd walk around buildings like 210, 209, 208, and you're going downwards, so you think, okay, 200 is around here somewhere, and then you get to 201, and then find that 200 is a completely different area of the uni, so that's quite confusing. Bus services are a little different. You have a Smart Rider card to use, which is basically like an Oyster card. You put money on it and you tag on when you get on a bus and then tag off when you get off. But I guess for me that's been the main differences so far, which brings me to my next little note, the good points. The good points are, of course, the access to the tavern all day. It's really good. There's 2 bookshops on campus, so you don't have to go very far to get your books, and that's the Curtin bookshop and then the second-hand bookshop run by the Student Guild. Other good points is you get so many savings with your Student Guild card. You can save $6 a time at the cinema, you can save in any of the cafes and any of the shops on uni. There's a pharmacy on the uni, there's a hairdresser's, bank, so much actually right there on the campus, and that's really good, I think, because you don't have to go too far out to get to anything. Trying to think what else is there. There's like a kebab place where you can go for lunch, which obviously you can get in if you're below 18, so unlike the TAF. It doesn't serve alcohol. So yeah, that's all good points to me. Good points for my course is that we actually use a newsroom for journalism, and everything goes on sort of in the newsroom. You work closely with the third year students, because I'm technically second year out here, even though I've done 2 years back home. You get to work with third year students, and they're like the editors. The second year students are sort of and the first, I guess, are sort of the writers that contribute to the paper. And photojournalism students, I'm also a photojournalism student, get your photos published as well. So it's like a uni newspaper that's run in the classes rather than through like a media society. Although the Student Guild do have their own publication, which is a magazine, I guess their equivalent of Blue Moon, and that's sort of more chatty and informal, but the actual newspaper is put together solely by the actual students taking journalism and no one else, and I think it's quite good. I mean, I've only been in the newsroom once, I'm going in later today, but yeah, there's the people that write the articles, like the second year students, can put in photo requests, and then the photojournalism students pick up those requests and go and take the photos that have been asked of them, and it's run very professionally, it seems. There's lots of computers in there for people to use, save all the documents to go in the newspaper, and it means that if you're a journalism student, you're guaranteed to get some work published by the end of the year in their newspaper, so it's really good. I like the idea of them making, you know, your efforts go toward making a paper rather than just submitting an assignment. Of course you submit it as well, but it's sort of a two-tier thing. You submit it for marking, and then you also submit it with the hope of it getting in the paper. So that's good. To me that was a really strong, good point. I guess that then brings me to bad points. Okay, there's not a lot of bad points, but for me, money, the expense of things out here. I knew that Perth is an expensive place to live, but it's really crazy some of the prices we've encountered. I'll just see if I can come up with moving around to see what I'm doing. This is my Oasis page, which is like a StudyNet equivalent. And on here there's a place, I don't know if you can see that, to order your books online. So you go in and it tells you exactly what books you need. The Curtin University Bookshop, and you can order them straight from there. But it's not cheap, if you can see that there. Top one is $76.07. Second one is $45.47. Bottom one is the cheaper one. It's just a booklet, and that's $6.30. And then 1981. And then the bottom one is the crazy one. See this side. $126.34 to order that, and they have marked these as essential reading. There's one recommended, which is the $45 one, but all of the ones, including the $126, are marked as essential reading. So you get sort of quizzed in class on your reading, and if you've not done it, they will know. So you kind of have to buy these books, and for me that's a really bad point that you have to spend that much. finally, the workload is a bad point because we've assessed in such a different way than what I'm used to. It's one of my unit guides. I get a unit guide for each module I do. It seems most of the home students take 3 modules, but if you're overseas you have to take 4. So we've got it quite bad. Assessment. So there's a lot to it. There's online content, you have to write a weekly blog for this. Content creation, reflective essay. That one's not too bad. In my other classes I have weekly quizzes, which I guess I'm used to with English back home, but this is going to be weekly quizzes for journalism on the news, so you have to watch the news and take great detail because you get quizzed on names, dates, places, things like this. There's a timetable here for journalism. There's so much reading to do. It's just before you even start how you're going to be tested and what's going to happen. I felt like I spent hours doing this reading. Again, this is the assessment schedule. Seminar discussion is assessed. So you have to the value of 15%, so you have to attend the seminars and discuss. Seminar presentation, you have to give presentations, case study, essay, and that's just another one. This one I think is the weekly assessments. There's honestly so much to it. I feel a bit lost at the beginning, but I think it's kind of coming into shape now. Schedule, the mark scheme, assessment schedule, news writing to the value of 60%, and you have to have written 4 articles. Contribution to the news process, 10%, and that says every week of the semester, so you're being tested that every week. Current affair quizzes, pretty much every week. Lecture commentaries, you have to write commentaries every week on how the class is going and what the guest speakers are saying, and that's handed in week 13, but it's done every week. And then style tests on top of that, so that's going to be a lot of testing. And then photojournalism is much the same. You're getting tested on what you're being published, what you're having published, as well as what you're submitting into the assignment tray. Here we go. 6 photo assignments for the newspaper, 60% in total. In class assignment 1, 7.5% of the grade. Assignment 2, another 7.5, and a photo essay. So yeah, I'm going to be pretty busy, but I guess it's kind of what I expected, but then kind of a heavier workload than I expected. But fingers crossed things go well, and I'll hopefully see you in a couple of weeks or so.